The sun was barely rising over the rolling hills of Willow Creek, painting the horizon in shades of gold and lavender. Sarah Miller tightened the laces on her worn boots and stepped out onto the porch of her modest farmhouse. She breathed in the crisp morning air, her sharp eyes scanning the dew-soaked fields as if instinct demanded it. To most, she was just a quiet single mother trying to keep her farm alive. But behind her calm demeanor was a past few could imagine. Sarah had once been one of the most skilled snipers in the Green Berets. Life had changed the moment her husband was killed in a car accident 3 years ago. Left with her young daughter, Lily, and acres of farmland that seemed to swallow money faster than it made it, Sarah traded combat gear for overalls. She never spoke of her military days to anyone in town. Instead, she chose to be the woman at the farmer's market who offered free apples to kids, who fixed her neighbor's fences without being asked, who showed up at the church bake sale with pies made from scratch. But not everyone respected kindness. A group of local troublemakers, teenagers hardened too early by neglect and poor choices, saw Sarah's quiet ways as weakness. They jeered when she drove her rusty pickup into town. They whispered rumors about her being crazy or broken. And lately, they'd taken to trespassing on her land, leaving trash in her fields and spray painting crude messages on her barn doors. On this particular morning, Sarah noticed a slashed tire on her tractor and fresh boot prints in the mud. She sighed, running her hand along the brim of her cap. She could track them easily, old habits died hard, but she didn't. She told herself, they're just kids. Angry kids. Not enemies. What they didn't know was that she could dismantle their cruelty with the same precision she once dismantled rifles. But she had promised herself, no more violence. Not after everything she'd seen, not with Lily watching her every move. Still, the farm was her home. And her daughter's safe place. No one would take that from her. That night, as the cicadas hummed and Lily slept peacefully upstairs, Sarah sat on the porch in the dark, listening. Her instincts were right, the boys returned. She heard the crunch of gravel, the low laughter, the clinking of bottles. They thought she was asleep. They thought she was helpless. Sarah rose silently, her steps noiseless, her breath steady. She melted into the shadows of the barn, watching them stumble across her property with flashlights. One boy grabbed a chicken from the coop, holding it high while the others laughed. Another picked up a rock, aiming it at her farmhouse window. Sarah's voice cut through the night like a blade. Put the chicken down. The boys froze. Her tone wasn't loud, but it carried the weight of absolute authority, the kind of command that once made soldiers snap to attention. Slowly, the boy lowered the chicken. They turned to see her, standing tall in the moonlight, her posture calm but unyielding. There was no shotgun in her hands, no weapon at all. Just the steely confidence of someone who had faced far worse than a pack of reckless teens. Go home, she said simply. One of them, bolder than the rest, sneered. Or what? You gonna call the cops? Sarah's lips curved into the faintest smile. Not cruel, not mocking, just knowing. I don't need the cops. There was something in her eyes, something that silenced even the bravest of them. For the first time, they realized they weren't dealing with a fragile widow. They shuffled back, muttering curses, but they left. The chicken fluttered back into its coop. The night grew quiet again. Sarah returned to the porch, her heart steady. She hadn't raised her voice. She hadn't laid a finger on them. But still, something inside her whispered, this isn't over. And she was right. Because the next morning, the boys came back with reinforcements. Determined to break the quiet strength of the woman they thought they could bully.